Every GPU launch now sounds less like gaming news and more like a luxury auction. That should feel stupid, but somehow feels accurate. Honestly, the conversation became people pretending a $2,000 graphics card is normal hobby spending. Everyone keeps acting like the average player is holding rent money and a pre-order page. Nvidia used to feel like a gamer company and players believed they mattered. Back then, the pitch was simple: buy stronger hardware, raise settings, enjoy frames. Today, the pitch feels warped because the excitement is not about your next build. Suddenly, the room is full of AI money, data centers, enterprise buyers, and giants buying compute like emergency supplies. Look, I am not saying this like some conspiracy guy yelling into a mic. Money is out in the open, and money tells you where attention goes before the trailers do. Gamers helped build the image, carried the hype, watched benchmarks, defended launches, argued online, and made GPUs feel cultural. Then richer customers showed up with deeper pockets, and the relationship changed quietly. Nobody had to say ordinary players were pushed aside, because prices, stock, and priorities said it. That's the problem. Viewers still get the gamer trailer, the neon reflections, the monster, the esports clips, and the ray tracing showcase. Meanwhile, the market itself feels built around people who are not normal players. Sure, gaming still exists, and nobody honest should pretend Nvidia stopped selling gamer cards. Obviously, the hardware is powerful, engineering is impressive, and frames are not fake. Fine, give credit where credit is due, because calling a costly flagship weak is dishonest. Still, admiration for performance does not mean everyone has to clap when the price looks like rent, because once the RTX 5090 starts around $2,000, conversation is not casual. And the most frustrating part is not just the price, it is how the people we watch every day are helping normalize it. $2,000 for one GPU is not normal gamer money, before tax, the PC monitor and everything else. Maybe creators can justify it, maybe professionals can justify it, and wealthy enthusiasts can buy it without blinking. However, regular players hear that number and start doing survival math on the computer they own. But here's the thing, Nvidia is not pricing it this way because they hate gamers, they are pricing it this way because they found a better customer. Somebody always jumps in with the same defense: flagships were never for everybody. Correct, that is the fair point, and people should not dodge it. Flagship hardware has always been expensive, and nobody needs the strongest card. Skipping a generation is normal, buying used is normal, lowering settings is normal, and keeping old hardware alive is normal. So yes, the other side has a real argument inside the smug replies. I get the logic, but the logic is why the hobby feels worse for average people. Listen, I know I am getting philosophical about a piece of silicon, but when that silicon costs as much as a used car, the philosophy matters. This is where it falls apart. Expensive top-end hardware is one issue, a hobby feeling less reachable is another. People are not mad only because one monster card is expensive. They are mad because the direction feels obvious, and people keep telling them not to trust their eyes. Each launch gets framed like a celebration, while value gets shoved aside like it ruined the party. It's not just the companies changing the rules though, it's the people we trust to explain those rules to us. YouTube makes that disconnect louder because every thumbnail screams ultimate build, best setup, insane performance, and future-proof. Bro, most viewers are not choosing between a 5090 and another luxury toy. Most are asking whether their older card can survive another year without sounding like a desk vacuum. Many players are still on mid-range cards, used cards, older cards, or whatever survived the last pricing mess. Reality does not live inside benchmark charts, review samples, or a studio desk covered in free hardware. Affiliate links make the conversation cleaner than it really is, because outrage becomes a shopping funnel 5 minutes later. Creators act shocked at the price, then build the exact system anyway and call it the future. Channels rant about value, then upload another dream build as if the audience is made of people with blank checks. Influencers warn viewers to be responsible, then spend 20 minutes drooling over hardware viewers cannot touch. Performative frustration is still performance, especially when the final act is another product link. Also look, I am a guy on YouTube talking into a mic, so yes, I know the irony. Even then, that makes it more important to call out the game when the game is obvious. You can't have it both ways. Either this is an unrealistic luxury product, or it is a serious recommendation for normal gamers. Pick one, because the audience is tired of being sold fantasy under the label of practical advice. Do not make affordability sound boring when affordability is the whole point for most people. Questioning prices is not jealousy, and wanting PC gaming to stay reachable is not entitlement. Noticing that AI demand changes the market is not being anti-progress, anti-tech, or bitter. Weak arguments keep pretending business logic cancels customer frustration, and that is just lazy. Yes, a company should chase money. No, customers do not have to celebrate getting deprioritized. Both ideas can exist at once, which loud defenders keep missing. AI did not personally kick down anyone's door and steal a graphics card. Nevertheless, AI demand changes the vibe because giant companies do not compete like normal buyers. Cloud firms are not waiting for payday, refreshing a retail page, and hoping the cart does not crash. Giant companies are buying chips by the truckload, making your single order product look like a rounding error. Therefore, when gamers feel like they are fighting corporate wallets instead of other players, that reaction is not crazy. Complexity matters, yes, and nobody serious should reduce wafers, memory margins, supply logistics, and demand into one cartoon villain. Wait, let's stop pretending this is just about supply chains. Really, it is a company choosing a favorite child, and the one with the biggest wallet just won. Yet complexity does not erase what average players see. Average players see high prices, thin value, loud hype, and a company whose biggest future clearly sits somewhere else. Brands live on perception, and perception is exactly where this starts to hurt. Loyalty mattered when gamers treated launches like events and defended GPU brands like sports teams. Turns out loyalty looks much smaller when another customer walks in with a larger budget. Harsh, but that is the shape of it. Now gamers watch the brand that used to court them dress itself for AI clients while still speaking gamer language. Worse, everyone wants the conversation to stay polite, clean, and market-friendly. Apparently, people are supposed to whisper. Market forces are complex, while checkout looks like a car repair bill. Now market forces can be real and still ugly. A product can be impressive and still badly priced. Progress can be real and still exclude people. Importantly, emotion matters because hobbies are not spreadsheets with RGB lights attached. Historically, PC gaming sold people a sense of control, pick your parts, tune your settings, upgrade when ready, and build something personal. Currently, that promise feels weaker when visible products communicate status first and accessibility second. Rather than excitement, a lot of players feel like they are watching a party move upstairs, while someone says the basement is still open. Frankly, no one needs fake sympathy, but people do need honesty about where the energy has gone. Top cards dominate the conversation, even though most players want something reasonable, stable, and affordable. Companies keep showing off supercars to people asking for a reliable daily driver. Coverage follows the spectacle because spectacle gets clicks, and algorithms love extremes more than practical advice. Gradually, insane pricing at the top anchors the conversation, making expensive products look reasonable by comparison. Start with a mountain. Sell people a hill, call the hill value, and pretend the audience should be grateful. Nope, that trick is tired. Forums feel different now, less excited and more exhausted. Comments are full of people delaying builds, watching used prices, stretching old cards, and hoping nothing dies. Of course, some people will still buy the monster card, and that is their choice. Enthusiasts exist, professionals exist, collectors exist, and people with money are allowed to enjoy fast hardware. Nothing is wrong with loving powerful gear, benchmarking it, flexing it, or building a ridiculous machine for fun. Crucially, personal affordability is not general affordability. Your wallet is not the market, and your path is not the average experience. Online tech culture keeps confusing enthusiast behavior with mainstream reality, then acts shocked when ordinary players push back. When every conversation centers on the most expensive parts, regular gamers start to feel invisible. Basically, invisible is the right word, because gaming appears in the branding while the future points somewhere else. Players went from favorite customer to leftover customer. Dramatic, yes, but the slow version is worse because there was no single door slam. Instead, prices rose, AI money exploded, stock anxiety stayed, and the high end became a status symbol, wearing a gaming hoodie. Here is why the betrayal feeling sticks. Audiences can handle change when the change is honest. Customers get angry when the messaging sells belonging, while the market prices them like outsiders. Likewise, praise the engineering, credit the performance, acknowledge the business logic, and respect that companies chase opportunity. Call out the framing when it gets dishonest. Stop selling this as a normal gamer moment. Quit acting like $2,000 for a graphics card is just another Tuesday. Drop the idea that every complaint is whining. Remember, value is not a side topic for regular people. Plainly, the audience is not confused about premium versus impossible. They are reacting to a pattern that keeps making normal participation feel smaller, slower, and defensive after every expensive cycle. Finally, That is why the debate keeps boiling over instead of fading away after launch week. Ultimately, the final boss is not a benchmark, a ray-traced reflection, or the next Unreal Engine demo. It is the checkout page. If the hobby keeps asking normal players to pay luxury prices while pretending nothing changed, people will stop calling it progress. Eventually, they will call it what it looks like: a powerful market built by gamers, polished by gamers, defended by gamers, and now priced like gamers are lucky to be invited.